Warning, the following video contains spoilers for the animated show Vox Machina, Seasons 1 and 2. Hello YouTube, and welcome to Sci Prime Productions. I'm a new YouTube channel, so bear with me as I figure things out. Today I thought I'd like to continue a fun little experiment where I take a character from Critical Role's first campaign and try and reinterpret them in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. As a quick reiteration, like I said first time with my Percy DeRollo build, I'm aware that D&D and Pathfinder are different games. I'm not recreating these characters exactly, I am reinterpreting them. This is just a fun little experiment to see how characters work through a different lens. If you have a different take on this character, please post it in the comments below. As a quick reminder, the rules are: 1. I'm going to modify the characters so they work in Pathfinder 2nd Edition. I'm not going to make a trash character that only works in one system, but not another. 2. I'm going to focus on the core of the character. I'm allowing myself to mess with stats, skills, weapons, and even classes, so long as the base character concept is intact. Some classes work different in Pathfinder than in Dungeons & Dragons, so I'm going to have to shake things up. Don't worry, I will try and keep the base of the character the same. What is the core of Grog's character? Well, he's a huge muscle-bound warrior who would like to rage! He starts off using large weapons before switching to massive unarmed strikes. He's large, intimidating, and not very smart. 3. I'm going to build him out to level 10 and without the free archetype optional rule. If you're a fan of Pathfinder 2e, you know what that means. Otherwise, don't worry about it. 4. I'm going to allow access to the uncommon, rare, and even unique traits, as Golarion and Exandria are very different worlds, and what is common in Golarion might be uncommon in Exandria, and vice versa. 5. I'm going to make a unique background for each character I make based on their unique backstory. This is actually super easy, as Pathfinder backstories follow a very simple formula, and it's really hard to mess them up. 6. Yes, today I'm going to be doing Grog Strongjaw. I haven't listened to the entirety of the Vox Machina podcast, so I will be doing the animated version of Grog. Sorry for those who are disappointed, but when the show came out, I chose not to spoil myself on the plot, so I didn't listen to the podcast. Oh, and number 7, this was made before the Pathfinder Remaster core rulebook came out, so technically this still uses Pathfinder 2e pre-remaster rules. Just to explain the rest of this video really quickly, I'm going to be building out the character in Path Builder, a freemium online Pathfinder 2 character builder. On the left side of the screen, I'm going to use Hero Forge, an online miniature builder, to build out the Pathfinder version of Grog, so there's something interesting to look at. Those are not sponsors, by the way, just programs I enjoy using. One absolutely last thing, this part was scripted, but the build will not be, so please bear with me as I do some off-the-cuff broadcasting. Now, without further ado, here's how I'd build a Pathfinder 2nd Edition version of Grog Strongjaw from Critical Role. And here we are in Path Builder. Alright, time to go through. Like I said, I'm treating Grog as a orc, just because there are no Goliaths in Pathfinder. I said that in the prelude video that came out earlier. Background, I chose to make one for Grog called One of the Herd. The Herd, of course, is a raiding party that he was with before. Gives him bonuses to either strength or constitution, the intimidation skill, and the raiding lore skill. Raiding lore is, like I said, lore skills are just skills that exist in Pathfinder that are very specific knowledge skills. I also gave him the group coercion skill feat. This lets him intimidate more than one person at a time. Class, no surprise there, I made him a barbarian. He is in fact starting a giant instinct barbarian. If you don't know what that means, I'll explain it here in just a second. I used an optional rule in Pathfinder that says I can take a hit to 2 ability scores to boost a third. So Grog's starting ability scores are Strength 18, Dex 14, Con 16, Intelligence 8, Wisdom 8, and Charisma 12. I know in the show he had I know in D&D he has Intelligence of 6, but the lowest you can go in Pathfinder is 8. So there we go. He has just a few skills here. Acrobatics, athletics, diplomacy. He's actually kind of a nice guy when he's being nice. Intimidation, of course. Raiding lore. He's not very good at it, but he does have it. It's an intelligence-based skill. And survival. All right. He is a winter orc. This gives him the ability to survive in the cold very easily. We see this in Season 2 where he's walking around in the northern cold lands with nothing on but his loincloth. Orc Ferocity is a feat that just says once per day when he would be reduced to 0 hit points, he's instead reduced to 1, but he does gain the wounded condition, meaning knock him down enough times and he'll die. Raging Intimidation lets him intimidate while raging. Normally you can't in Pathfinder, but this skill feat allows him to do it. It also gives him the Intimidating Glare skill feat, which means he can intimidate without saying anything or speaking anyone's language. Giant Instinct is actually pretty interesting. When you are a Giant Instinct Barbarian and you rage, if you have a large-sized weapon, a weapon meant for larger creatures, you do 6 extra damage, but you gain the clumsy condition. This means that basically all of your dex checks go down by 1, and your AC goes down by 1. This is in addition to normal raging, which also sees your AC go down by 1. So right now, if we check this out, Grog is actually clumsy 1. If we add the rage into this, which I built in here, we see his AC goes from 18 down to 16, which is pretty not great because he's going to get crit a lot. But we do see that while he's raging, his great axe damage is 1d12 plus 10 at level 1, which is just quite frankly insane. And he does a d6 plus 4 damage when throwing a javelin. I gave him a javelin just because, but notice his 2-hit with his javelin is bad because throwing a javelin is a dex attack. And so he doesn't do much damage, or he does do a lot of damage, but he can't hit very often. Also, failing to face a personal challenge is what's called an anathema. Barbarians in Pathfinder have a kind of sort of thing like paladins, where if they fail to follow their rage instinct, they actually lose their rage power. And the thing that causes a barbarian to lose their powers is, for a giant instinct, failing to live up to a challenge of your strength. We're going to go up now, and we're going to change Grog over to his level 10. Now, when I changed him over to level 10, his build did not work for using the Titanstone Knuckles. So I did have to change him up to be an animal instinct barbarian with the ape instinct, which basically makes his unarmed punching attacks just quite frankly ridiculous. So we're going to look through here. Gain sudden charge. This lets him, for 2 actions, move forward twice and then strike. Titan Wrestler lets him wrestle larger creatures. He gains toughness. Deny advantage, he cannot be flanked. Raging Athlete, this basically makes him jump and swim better while he's raging. Rapid Mantle just lets him climb better. Bloody Blows is an orc feat, but we're saying it's a Goliath feat. Your lethal unarmed strikes leave bloody gouges or cause severe internal bleeding. When you critically hit with a strike using an unarmed attack that isn't non-lethal, the target takes 1d4 persistent bleed damage, so whenever he crits with his Titanstone Knuckles, he now causes bleed damage. Animal Skin. Barbarians don't normally get the unarmored defense ability like D&D barbarians, but the Animal Skin actually lets them have this. So effectively, this gives him better defense while he's not wearing any armor. So if we go back here, level 1 Grog actually was wearing, as you can see, hide armor. Level 10 Grog is just wearing clothes. He's stopped wearing armor because he has animal skin. Hefty Holler lets him carry more stuff. like Scanlan or Pike. Skill increase, obviously Fleet just makes him go faster. Juggernaut is a special ability. It's basically evasion, but for fortitude saves, what D&D players would know as constitution saves. He gets at level 8 Attack of Opportunity. Attack of Opportunity is rare in Pathfinder, but it's also more powerful than it is in D&D. It's also in the remaster going to be renamed something like Reactive Strike or something. Effectively, if you do anything interesting other than attacking, it can provoke an attack of opportunity, such as casting a spell, moving away, just moving around somebody without effectively doing the Pathfinder version of disengaging. All of those are problems. Powerful Leap just makes him leap even faster. Oh, I did not select a Ancestry feat for level 9. I'm sorry. Scar Thick Skin makes it easier for him to recover from bleeding. Level 10, Fast Movement. Fast Movement, again, not a normal barbarian ability. You have to pick it up. And Skeptic's Defense actually prevents him from being mind-controlled. I like to think that this is an ability he picked up after being mind-controlled by Silas one or two too many times. He effectively gained the ability to fight against it using Skeptic's Defense.
Perhaps it's time we point all that muscle and fury elsewhere.
No, I know what you're doing. Don't try and seduce me.
That's, I thought, a really nice ability. Let's go over here, look at his level 10 abilities. Non-rage, 20 strength, 16 dexterity, 18 constitution, still 8 intelligence, but his wisdom jumps to 10, 16 charisma. These ability score bonuses are on par with what a normal Pathfinder character would have at this level. AC is at 28 without raging. Because of his animal skin ability, when he rages now, his AC actually goes up. It takes a hit, goes down to 27 from 28, but then he gets a +2 bonus going up to 29. So he's actually harder to hit because his skin is so tough when he rages. When he rages, he now as a ape animal barbarian can make these big old D10 punches, which he can only do while raging. When he's not raging, they're D4s. The Titanstone Knuckles I have treated as essentially fist wraps of the Mighty Blows. These are normally monk things that increase your base punching or unarmed attack abilities. So they're not a weapon themselves, they just augment his normal unarmed strikes. Ape barbarians, however, cannot use any weapons while raging. That is their anathema. If they use a weapon while raging, they risk losing any of their rage powers. So if he's not raging, he has Kevdak's Axe, which he got at the end of Season 2. And when he is raging, he can use the Titanstone Knuckles. Like I said, he's got Explorer's Clothing on. That's just normal clothes. In Pathfinder, you can actually put like bonuses, armor bonuses on normal clothes. Pretty simple. Normal backpack, he has a backpack, bedroll, rations, all that stuff. Belt of the Five Kings is the closest thing to the Belt of Dwarven Friendship that he gets in Season 2. Technically, it doesn't give you the ability to grow a beard, but I'm sure the GM could allow it. It doesn't do anything mechanical. Technically, the Belt of the Five Kings is supposed to be worn only by dwarves. Dwarves can get temporary hit points when they wear it. I'm sure a kind GM would allow non-dwarves to get it too. Boots of Bounding just further increases ability to jump and move, making him just truly super mobile, able to do those great big jumps that he does in the show. Grub Gloves are actually a fun little item. He can rub his hands together once per day, and they give him a little bit of a bonus, and they heal him once a day if he rubs his hands together and takes a deep breath to prepare. It also gets rid of the fatigued condition. So I thought those were fun little items for him to maybe heal up in between battles. He does have his hide armor here still, but it is stored. It is not what he is wearing. All right, that is Grog Strongjaw. I love to see your version of him. I think this is pretty fun. Once again, I'm new to this YouTube thing and I'm trying to make a go of it. So any comments, likes, or subscribes would really help this channel out and tell YouTube that you would like to see more of this content. Thank you, good day, and happy gaming.